No, we're not allowed to flog our community managers.
I didn't see that question. You just made it up. You're a funny man, Johan. And we are back now for our stream Q&A with Johan again. So we had the time to cry a bit over Saxonia. Moral of the story.
We won.
Yeah, we won and we flogged a few people. So we gathered questions that you guys sent through our Google Forms that we sent a few weeks ago, and your response was absolutely amazing. We got over 700 questions easily right off the bat. Thank you so much for taking part. And yes, chat, flogged. Yes, calm down. We'll stop the flogging.
Stop beating the dead horse, or flog the dead horse.
Yes, also flogging the dead horse. So one question that we've seen a lot on stream and that we have seen also in the Google form is, can we please have a clarification regarding the calendar? And do you have any solution for less confusion?
There's a tooltip there.
There you go. We can clearly see that we have a tooltip stating the dates. Expansion. In previous titles, we had pacts and coalitions. What sort of mechanics will limit or slow down players' domination? Something similar or quite different?
This little thing called aggressive expansion, because it makes people dislike you if you get it too big. It also has negative impacts of your pops of different culture and different culture groups, and your subjects will be less happy with you. So the more aggressive expansion you get, the less happy
they will be.
Yeah.
Okay.
And as someone in the chat says, it's just a number, and I've seen some of the betas going like, yeah, well, who cares? Everything can be flogged.
How much control will player have over his character's children, meaning their traits or stats?
Here's a child, she's 14 years old. Up to, when a child is below 12, they have an ambition to grow up. They get a bunch of stats as they grow up. Then, depending on the stats they have at that age, they have different, they will pick one of their, like, what they want to become when they become an adult. This girl, she wants to become a demagogue, so she has a chance of gaining 1 oratory and lose 5 loyalty each month, a low chance of gaining 2 and losing a -10
military, losing 1 in civic, and or 1 in religious power.
Yeah, so it's a chance. Korhaubus,
he probably wants to grow up.
He wants to grow up. She wants to be a demagogue as well.
Demagogue family. Becoming rich.
Yes. When the ambition is fulfilled, when they become an adult, they'll get a random personality trait.
Okay.
That depends on which ones they get.
Okay.
So you don't really know, you don't have super big control over that one. Oh, she's a wrong culture or religion. We should force them to become a proper Hellenic.
Why do mercenaries get bonuses from the country that employs them?
It's easier to see in the UX. If you know that your elephants are good at one thing and you specialize in elephants, you'll go like, oh shit, is this part of our mercenaries? And
yeah,
it's a bit of a UX hassle and so on.
Will the grey zone in Germania be filled with factions, tribes? Well, we cannot tackle that during the stream, but I thought it would be nice just to
filled with pops. Here's like, there's a bunch of, here's Celts and Germans. They're full with people here.
There's been reports of, when we were in Bath, showcasing the game to the press, that event where we could trade for camels as a British miner and raiding around the British island with camel cavalry.
We'll do some trading. And we want camels.
Yeah.
There's none in range, because we can only reach this area to import from.
So will there be a character history like there was in EU Rome? Will the place of birth be shown in the character information screen like in EU Rome?
We don't keep track of the history of everything they've been doing, because that's one of the things that create even huger save games and lots of memory problems. We keep track of where they were born, I think, so we should show it somewhere in the tooltip.
We have also big meaty questions, so bear with me. I understand that there will be more trade items in Imperator than there is in EU4. This makes me wonder, so I would like to ask, are provinces restricted to producing a single trade good only, or will province have the ability to produce more than one single trade good?
Yes, they're limited to 1 trade good only per city or whatever we call them.
Also, will there be an option to change certain trade goods that are produced in a province?
No, there's no such thing.
What was the reasoning behind allowing the conversion of gold to Monarch points and vice versa?
Money sink and opportunity costs, basically. It's like when you really, really need something and you have a lot of money and you have a bad ruler. The difference is like in EU4 that also uses some Monarch point system. You can spend a lot of money on having advisors that give you extra power, and you don't have that here. No, we're not allowed to flog our community managers.
I didn't see that question. You just made it up. You're a funny man, Johan. Will every nation in the game start with the same tech level and only after the game progresses into civilized nations because of their citizen pops? Or will some nations start with some technology already researched compared to some tribes in Germany, for example?
Everyone starts with the same tech level, and if I'm looking at, let's say, take this country here, they don't have much, they have like 1 citizen, so they're researching, it's gonna take them until 563 to reach the first tech so they can get more inventions. While this nice little friendly country here, Egypt, they have 107 points and they get 461, about 102 years earlier. So if I promote some freemen to citizens, then we see that our research ratio is not 0.4, then we're going to be down at 478.
Has Paradox's approach to historical accuracy changed from EU or CK since sources on the period in question are much more sparse, especially concerning Carthage and the Barbarian? How do you feel the missing information?
We're doing the same approach to historical accuracy as we've done from EU1 back in the 90s. We fill in all the data we have. You basically interpolate between those data and do guesstimates.
Yes.
And try to make as accurate as you think from the lots of data points we have. And the amount of data points we have these days with all the researchers and libraries we have is really, really good. But when we don't have data, we just guess and make shit up.
How do you prevent snowballing? Will the AI react to snowballing if it was the case with Rome historically fighting against big alliances in the Third Samnite War and other wars before? Will the Samnites and Etruscans have a chance against Rome?
We have Monarch points that stop snowballing in most cases. AI actually tries to contain. We used to have an AI that was really opportunistic and block you, but that's not super fun because the best thing of them all is to join in any war you attack, so they fight to the death. As a player, if you play Etruria, you have a pretty good chance against Rome.
Will you at Paradox be adding a smaller, shorter mini campaign in form of historical events as a DLC or a free update? So meaning, will there be like a little campaign more historically based?
No, we will only have the grand campaign.
How does the Diodash Wars usually ends? Is there one state that swallows up the rest, or is it varied between games?
The quick answer, varied, and it completely changes all the balance every time we do some change, so we like...
In the first live stream, Rome was led by a single consul. Historically, the Republic ousted the kings and replaced it with a balanced system of 2 leaders, originally praetors and the later consuls. Is there an intent for Rome to have 2 consuls or just a singular leader, as shown on the live stream, and why? We're only going to have 1 ruler. That's something we've said so many times. I guess this is also for game balance.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's not, and I've seen some cynical comments everywhere. No, they're just gonna add it in a DLC and charge money for it. And no. If we, for some weird reason, would ever think it was a good idea to have 2 rulers, then it would obviously be in a free patch. But no, I don't think it doesn't make the game better.
What state may be an unexpected powerhouse?
Let's look at these guys. Bactria, 1100 pops. Nice place here, safer. It's like their neighbors here. They have like 184. Sogdia 55. 357 Parthia. The Seleucids, they have 4 times my size.
Oh wow.
But the Seleucids they have the Marius and the Phrygias, and they are really, really unstable. So Bactria, I think, is an unexpected powerhouse. At least in a player's hand. Absolutely. I think a decent Paradox player will make a huge empire out of Bactria pretty easily. Because I have no opponents.
Oh.
No, that's just bad puns. The Lingonbarus. Etruria can be fun as the players. I like Tartessius. Boy is a cool name, but have you guys looked at this name here? LOL. I know it's IOL, but it looks like LOL when you type it, so it should be for the LOLs.
Oh god, the memes are real. But yeah, we were discussing actually at the beginning, before the stream started, that Opone was actually a good place to start if you want to be alone.
Yeah, because you have like no neighbors here.
Will laws unlock certain abilities, decision, or will they only give modifiers? Will the Marian reforms allow me to build a massive professional army?
Egypt. They have succession laws here. So you can introduce the familial marriage, which you should probably start with. So that's a different type of laws. Rome actually has a unique set of laws. Yeah, we have Marian reforms. You can only do that one if you have done the military reform event chain. Sparta is a republic, yeah. I think there should be a bit of a difference. Yes, they don't have the Marian reforms. So Rome has unique laws.
Is there an ahead of time penalty for technology levels? Let's go back to technology.
Yes, we have 15 times per year. Tech. Okay, so now we have ahead of time, +1 for 50.
How hard is it to increase your experience on your units? In EU Rome, I found it very difficult to raise it about, say, 20%.
First gives you a better starting one, and then you're fighting.
Espionage. Can we spy on people?
No. I played a lot of games, because I'm an old guy, but I've also designed quite a few games. And we've tried so many different like espionage systems and spy systems. I've never ever seen any spy system that's really been great in games. So we're not going to do it in Imperator.
Given that buildings are uncapped, how will you be able to defeat a large fort like level 10 and above?
Oh, this is a good one, because this is pure evil. When you have a breach on a fort,
yes,
which you get when you get a maximum dice roll, no matter how you roll it.
Okay.
Every time you roll a breach on a fort that has more than one fort level, that fort loses a fort level. So you basically decimate forts down when you take them.
What would you say that this game is about?
It's about doing these things, painting the map in your color and getting a nice name of it.
What about AI? Will Rome be more aggressive than other nations when manned by the AI, or just like in history?
I'd say more like in history.
What is your favorite nation?
Depends on what I want to play. I mean, I like Egypt. I like Thrace. I like playing Etruria. I always like Tartessus.
So, is the unoccupied line colonizable?
Yes.
Can you scale the interface?
We're developers working on making proper UI scaling so you can play in 4K and scale.
Did you read any books related to the Imperator timeline during the development yourself?
Quite a few. I can't remember the name. There's a lot of Goldsword or whatever his name is. Does this support more than one CPU core? It uses lots of cores and lots of processes.
Mods. Is the game moddable?
Yes. So you can do pretty much everything you want.
Are you considering an open demo close to the release?
No.
How many start dates will there be in the base game? Are we planning to add new start dates later on with updates, DLCs? With
one start date only.
Can you speak about the civil war mechanics of the game, revolting generals and wars between families?
Some people are disloyal.
Yes.
When their loyalty is really, really low, they can start civil wars. If your loyalty is low enough and you have he has no army. If I put him in charge of our main army,
yes,
let's do that. This is very, very stupid of us. The civil war will break out now in 12 months, even if I'm not dead. Because a large part of our army, 48.3%, is controlled by a disloyal general.
How are you excited for the release of this game in comparison to earlier releases?
I think it's the most fun I've had or something since EU4.
How many achievements will there be?
I think it's 50.
There are a few interesting periods of change in history not yet covered by Paradox Games. So what brought you yourself to the Roman Republic over any time period?
Because this is the perfect time period for building empires. It fits strategy games perfectly because it's all about creating a large empire.
If you had to choose one element of Imperator Rome that makes it stand out from the other Paradox Grand Strategy title, what would it be?
I'd say loyalty. Everything ties to loyalty.
As a huge fan of EU Rome, will Imperator fulfill all my dreams and desires?
Some of them, I hope.
There we go. I love playing tall. How viable would this option be in Imperator?
If you're willing to get protected by someone else, you could probably play tall as a small city-state or a small local power somewhere.
Do we have formable nations?
Yes, from Galatia. Or from Gaul.
Will there be a Latin language pack?
No.
What were the positive and negative lessons from EU and CK that helped the development of Imperator Rome?
Get it playable early.
Is there like a safe place for new people to start the game and learn the game as they see fit?
I was joking about Crete being
Thunderdome.
mini Thunderdome. Macedon and Rome are probably relatively easy to start playing the game. And if you just want to isolate yourself, play Opponent without opponents.
How many people are working on the game right now, and how many teams are those people in?
They're in one team. Somewhere between 20 to 30 people are spending most of the days around working on Imperator this week.
Do we have any wonders, and can we interact with them?
Yes, you can build the Colossus.
Well.
But we're not going to talk more about that until later.
Do we have any Easter eggs from previous titles in the game?
Good one. There's a few Easter eggs, I think. You will find some dev team people with their portraits at various places.
Of course.
With similar names. Baldertoft has not composed the original soundtrack. There's another musician. We're quite a bit bigger now, so everyone cannot work on... Baldertoft can't do everything anymore. It's like there's so many musicians these days.
Quick question, how do you go about staying true to the nation flags? Did flags even exist back then for some?
No, they did not really exist. There's like some symbols, like the Roman eagle is easy, the Carthaginian symbols is there, and some are those that they used on coins, etc. And then we picked colors that we felt fitted and so on.
We have gone through a lot of questions, like we had 600 more, like we could definitely go on for a while. But anyway, thank you so much, Johan, and we will see you next week.
Flog the horse.
Okay.